La Prairie. Mr. Speaker, wondering why the price of gas is so high? The question's such a good one. CBC looked into where each penny we pay goes. The answer, into the pockets of the oil companies. Their refinery margin has kept going up since 2008. It went from 9 cents a litre to now 48 cents per litre. That's 5 times more in refinery margins. Meanwhile, the federal government keeps subsidizing them. In the latest budget, another $2.4 billion from the public purse. When are they going to cut these gluttons off instead of fattening them up? The Honourable Minister, Associate Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to affordability for Canadians and Quebecers, it's the government of Canada, the Liberal government, that cares. We have a plan for emissions. We have a plan to reduce the cost of living. Here on this side of the House, we've provided assistance for students and seniors and families. Here on this side, we care about affordability. On the other side, all they want to do is pick fights. The Honourable Member for La Prairie. Mr. Speaker, the gluttons are siphoning off our money at the pump with their record refinery margins. And on top of that, they're siphoning off taxpayers' money with federal subsidies. Guzzle, guzzle, guzzle. Every penny they see is more golden than the last. Suncor alone made $3 billion in profits in the last quarter. These gluttons don't need public money. Instead of fattening them up, why doesn't the federal government take that money and give it to the less fortunate and the green transition? The Honourable Minister of the Environment. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to thank my honourable colleague for his question. As he knows full well, we committed to eliminate fossil fuel subsidies by 2023, 2 years earlier than all of our G20 partners, and we've already begun. We've cut by more than $3 billion per year since 2018.
The cost of gasoline is over $2 a litre across this country. That is hurting families. At the same time, these very same oil and gas companies are experiencing massive profits and continue to receive fossil fuel subsidies to the tune of billions of dollars from this government. So my question is, will the Prime Minister support our plan to end the fossil fuel subsidies immediately and reinvest that back into people by doubling the GST tax credit? Yes or no?
Here, here, here. The Honourable Minister of Tourism and Associate Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, I thank my honourable member for the question. And when we're talking about economic drivers in this country, we talk about the oil and gas sector. We talk about aerospace. We talk about the auto sector. It's an important sector for this country. And if we're talking about the rise in gas prices, Mr. Speaker, this is the time when everybody in this House should be focused on getting Vladimir Putin out of Ukraine, not playing cheap politics. That is the real mission. We will keep working on affordability and not worrying about economic engines for this country.
The Honourable Member for Burnaby South.
Companies while they're making massive profits. It doesn't make any sense.
The cost of gas is over $2 a litre. This is affecting families while the oil companies are posting record profits while still receiving billions in federal subsidies. Will the Prime Minister support our request to scrap subsidies to fossil fuels and reinvest the money to help families by doubling the GST tax credit? Yes or no? The Honourable Minister of the Environment. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to thank my honourable colleague for his question. 2 pieces of good news for him. We are making record investments in Canadian history and among G7 and G20 countries in the green transition. We are investing the most of all G20 countries, and we have committed to eliminate subsidies to fossil fuels by 2023, 2 years earlier than any of our G20 partners. Member for Bellechasse-les-Chemins-Lévis. Good morning, Mr. Speaker. The rising gas prices are having a real impact on all Canadians. A recent survey shows that 2/3 of Canadians will not travel away from home this summer. The impact is also felt on our shelves. Goods are more expensive to produce and transport, and consumers are ultimately paying the price. But who benefits? The government, Mr. Speaker. For every litre of gasoline sold, more than 60 cents goes into government coffers. When is this government going to ease up on Canadians and lower taxes? The Honourable Minister. Mr. Speaker, let's be realistic with the facts. There is no evidence that lowering taxes will pass through to consumers. But this government did create the Canada Child Benefit. What did the Conservatives do? They voted against. We indexed benefits for seniors. The Conservatives voted against. We provided assistance to students. The Conservatives voted against. They're against Canadians. We vote for them. Those are the facts, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Simcoe North.
Mr. Speaker, as gas prices soar across the country, this government's response is tone-deaf and even at times condescending. They shrug off astronomical gas prices even though federal taxes contribute to inflation. They say the carbon tax rebate outweighs the cost, but we know that's just not true. The majority of Ontario families are worse off, businesses who ship goods are worse off, and farmers don't get a rebate. They're worse off by thousands of dollars a month. So, Mr. Speaker, as we listen to the government talk about how good gas prices are high, the question is simple. How high do they want them to go?
The Honourable Minister of Tourism and Associate Minister of Finance.
Speaker, let's look very clearly at what the Parliamentary Budget Officer has said. 8 out of 10 Canadians are better off with a price on pollution. And Mr. Speaker, I don't know why these Conservatives are so against a market mechanism that even Preston Mounting said was the best way to reduce emissions. Mr. Speaker, we're focused on affordability. They're playing politics. Canadians know that.
Order. Just want to remind the member for Simcoe North that booklet that's on top of the desk, on top of in front, that one there was blocking the microphones. So make sure the microphones are not blocked when we're asking questions or answering them as well. Just a technical thing while we slow things down just a little bit. The Honourable Member Langley Aldergrove.
Mr. Speaker, Vancouver has the highest gas prices in all of North America. The gas station at Vancouver Airport is advertising regular gas at $2.34 a litre. Whoa. The Minister of Finance keeps saying that inflation is a global phenomenon, yet we know that it is this government's policy to actually drive up gasoline prices through their taxation policy. When will this government quit blaming others, take responsibility, and give us a break at the gas pumps?
The Honourable Minister of Tourism and the Associate Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the Honourable colleague for his question. There's no evidence that removing tax would pass to consumers, and this House should be focused on getting Vladimir Putin out of Ukraine to restabilize energy markets. Canadians know that gas prices are higher because of the illegal war in Ukraine. The other side wants to play politics. We're focused on affordability, CCB, childcare, putting money in the pockets of Canadians. That's our job. They can scream all they want. We're doing the hard work.
I don't know what you guys had for breakfast, but boy, it was awful good. A lot of energy today. Let's keep that energy down just a little bit. The Honourable Member for South Shore St. Margaret's.
A lot of gas coming from this government. The lobster bait costs have more than doubled because of the decisions of this minister. Average fishing fuel costs have gone up 140% since the fall. The government's disastrous policies are increasing bait and fuel costs for fishing, making it more difficult to earn a living. Because of these increased costs, fishermen are now only able to go out every second day. In Nova Scotia, 70 cents for each litre of diesel goes to governments. It's time to lower gas taxes. When will this government do the right thing and lower gas taxes?
The Honourable Minister of Tourism and the Associate Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll tell you exactly which tax we lowered on the middle class. Twice. Conservatives voted against it. And we raised them on the wealthiest 1%. We created the Canada Child Benefit, indexed to inflation. Now a single mother with 2 children will receive up to $13,666. We increased OAS by 10%. It too is indexed to inflation, Mr. Speaker. That's the work we're doing in this House. They're playing politics.